Hey everyone, welcome to Blossom in Business, the podcast for beauty business owners who are ready to treat their business like a business, not just a hobby. My name is Monique and I'm a Melbourne-based salon owner and educator, and I'm here to help you grow your income, attract the right clients, and build a business that's actually sustainable. So if you're in the beauty industry and you're ready to level up your mindset, your marketing, and the way that you run your business, this is the podcast for you. I hope you love this episode. Now let's get into it. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Blossom in Business podcast. Before we start this episode, just want to preface, I mentioned it in the last episode as well because I filmed them both back to back, but I forgot my big microphone today, so we're using the little mini mics. They're still decent quality, but they're not as good as my big microphone. So if the audio is not as good as what it normally is, I apologize. I literally just raced out the door and I forgot my big microphone. I've got it clipped to a little nail file. So this is what we're doing for this episode. So I apologize if the audio is not as crisp as I would like it to be. But anyways, today we're talking about going viral because I feel like a lot of people, they're like, I want to make content that goes viral. I want to get 100,000 followers on Instagram. I want to get 1 million views on my videos. But going viral isn't always what it seems, and it may not get you the results that you actually want from your business. So in this episode, I'm breaking down the truth about viral content. I feel like we love the idea of having so many followers and so many views on our videos, but for a lot of businesses, going viral isn't actually the goal. Just because you get a lot of views or you get a lot of followers, that does not mean you're making a lot of money, because those views and followers may not even be from people that are actively able to buy from you. So we've all wanted to go viral at some point, right? We want to get millions of views on our videos. We want to get hundreds of thousands of followers. And you might follow all these accounts that have these followers, they have these views, and you're like, okay, this is what success looks like, right? They must be doing so well in business. They've got all these views, all these followers, but followers and views don't always equal money. They don't mean that you're living the best life, you're making all this money, you're so successful, because you can get heaps of views and heaps of followers from the wrong audience. So if you've ever had a post that's gone viral, or even if it hasn't gone super viral, 1 million views, it might have even gotten 10K or something, or even 3K. Did you ever feel like you got heaps more bookings? Probably not. Because here's the thing, when the videos get a lot of views, that means they've got a lot of visibility, but it might not be people that are actually going to buy from your business. So an example of this is your content may get 1 million views, maybe even brings you another 10,000 followers. But let's say you offer nails in Melbourne, right? Let's say you're me, you offer nails in Melbourne. If all those views are in America, they can't buy from you. If you're only offering in-person services in Melbourne, no one can buy from you. So those views, those followers are doing absolutely nothing for your service-based business. They can't give you a cent. Or maybe you do go viral in Melbourne, but maybe you're a more luxury business. You have premium pricing. You might go viral with an audience of people that can't afford that. They don't value that. So even though you've got views from a lot of people in your area, that doesn't mean that they're your ideal client. They still might not book with you. So going viral doesn't always equal bookings. So one of the downsides about going viral is not only are you attracting people that can't buy from you at all, even if they wanted to, they're way too far away. If they're in America, they can't buy from you. If you're an in-person service-based business, you could be attracting the clients that can't buy from you. Maybe they can travel to you, but they don't see the value in your work. Maybe they can't afford it. Now, don't get me wrong, going viral can be a good thing. It can bring you followers. These followers might book with you and pay you money. But a lot of the time, when you go viral, you're normally attracting a lot of people that can't book with you or don't want to book with you. Now, there are going to be so many people out there that teach you content strategies for going viral, getting views, getting followers. But I want you to consider one thing. What are your goals for your business? Do you want to be viewed? Do you want people to know about you, but not actually make any money? Or do you want maybe less people to know about you, but those who do actually buy from you? I feel like there's different content strategies out there, and there's content for views and virality, and there's content for sales. Now we'll circle back to strategy a little bit closer to the end, but I did want to talk about kind of the negative side of going viral, because when you go viral, you have so many eyeballs on your business. Not only the video or the carousel post you've made, your profile, you as a person, literally everything. There are so many people that discover you. This can be good. You can get some great people to network with. You can get some potential customers that will buy from you. Also probably going to get a lot of haters. Even if you're not doing anything that really needs to be hated on, you're not doing anything bad, they always exist. They always find their way. And you really want to prepare yourself, because you don't want to lose confidence because of these comments. You don't want to feel insecure because of these comments. So if your goal is to actually go viral, you need to prepare for the negative side of that as well. Yes, it can be positive with views and, potential sales, but there can also be a lot of downsides to going viral. So if you want to go viral, I really want you to prepare yourself mentally for those potential hate comments, because they can happen. No matter how good your content is, how amazing you look, how amazing you talk, there's always going to be haters. So you really need the mindset to push that negativity away. And I guess in a good way, any negative comment is engagement. It's still a comment at the end of the day. So I would just be like, okay, it's an extra comment, not that deep, Don't take any of these hate comments personally, because you really don't want it to affect with how you run your business day to day. Going viral can also not be the greatest thing if your business isn't set up to handle that. And I know sometimes going viral is unexpected. Sometimes just a video blows up out of nowhere and your account goes crazy, but you can't actually deal with that. Like, I know some people that have gone viral basically overnight. Like, just one video has gone to like millions and millions overnight. Now, again, not all these people that find you and your video and your profile are going to be your ideal customer. So you may just get views and comments and likes, but no inquiries, no bookings, anything like that. But if you do get these DMs and these bookings, you need to be able to prepare for it. Think about your systems. Do you want to be manually booking in every single person? You could get like 50 requests to book with you. Do you want to be doing that all manually in the DMs? Or do you want to have a booking link readily available? Do you want to be answering the same question about pricing over and over? Or do you want to have a price list easily available in your profile? Do you want to be answering the question of where are you located over and over? Or do you just want to put that in your bio? Because you can go viral and get those right customers in, but you might not be able to actually handle that when that happens. So make sure your profile and your business is set up for success. People should know where you're located. That is so many less DMs for you to answer. They should know how to book an appointment. They should easily be able to see how much you charge. That way, if you did get like 50 DMs, you're not spending an hour replying to every single one. That's when profile optimization comes into play. Systems in the back end of your business come into play. So when your business is set up to support going viral, that's when going viral in the right audience can be a really great thing. But if you haven't gotten that all figured out yet, when you go viral, your DMs are going to be absolute chaos and you're going to be so overwhelmed and so stressed. So if you're planning to go viral, or even not planning, like sometimes it just genuinely does happen, make sure that your profile is optimized and you have the systems to prepare for that. That's why I know some people like, I don't want a booking system, like I'm trying to save money or, all those sorts of things. But this is where that system can actually be so helpful for you. Even like automated messaging, like maybe you could have some sort of instant reply thing going on where it can have answers to frequently asked questions. That way it also reduces some of the responding to the DMs that you're gonna have to do. Now, I've been the person that wanted to go viral. I wanted to get a lot of followers, and I thought that having these views and these followers meant that I could make more and more money, but that's simply just not the case. It can happen, don't get me wrong, it can happen, but that doesn't automatically mean that you're gonna get more bookings, more clients, more money. You can go viral in the wrong audience. Now, I've seen this firsthand with other beauticians out there. They could have 100,000 followers, 500,000 followers, and they're still posting with available spots. Just because you have 500,000 followers, that doesn't mean that you're going to be fully booked with a wait list, because you might have gone viral with an audience that's not ready to buy from you, or they physically can't. Maybe they're too far away. Maybe they don't have the budget. So if you want to make money in your business and your goal is sales, especially if you're selling something that's an in-person service, it's not a product that people can order worldwide. It's not a course that you're selling online. It's an in-person service. You need to consider very specifically, who do you want to target? Who is this content for? Are these people that watch the content and start following me actually going to book? So you don't need followers, you don't need views to get fully booked. There are businesses out there that have like 100 followers and they're fully booked and making 6 figures. Followers mean nothing if they're not going to buy from you. Yes, it can look good when you look at the profile and it's got a K next to it, or you've got like more than a few hundred or a few thousand followers, but that shouldn't be your measurement of success. Unless your business is maybe content creation, maybe you directly make money based on how many followers and views you get, which for most service-based businesses, you're not. I wouldn't worry at all about the views or the followers. You can be fully booked and have only 100 followers. You could be making 6 figures in your business and have less than 1,000 followers. Going viral isn't always the goal, because you can go viral with the wrong audience. If you're selling an in-person service, your content strategy should bring sales, not just views and followers. And this is how we convert followers into real paying clients. So again, I was this person that wanted to get views, I wanted to get followers, and I've had videos get a lot of views. I've had thousands of followers, but that doesn't mean that you're going to get sales. So if you want to make more money in your service-based business, you want to think about your content as a way to convert those followers to sales, to bookings, to clients, not just post what's going to get you views and followers. Now, I'm not saying not to post trends or any sort of like viral potential content. You can post those, but I definitely wouldn't be focusing on just that. That can be really great to give you some visibility and increase the chances of someone that is your ideal customer finding you, but I wouldn't rely on that content to bring in bookings. You need to rely on content that's actually going to help a customer along the buyer's journey, the road from discovering you to actually booking with you. So I really want you to understand that you don't need a lot of followers and a lot of views in order to make a lot of money from your business. Followers and bookings aren't always related. So this is why you also want to be very mindful of that content strategy that you have. Some people's content strategy is going to be to go viral, to get views, to get followers, but you need to consider, is that your goal? Now, growing my salon over the past few years, whenever I've made content, it's usually not to go viral. I think, what do potential clients actually want to see? Do they want to see me doing some TikTok dance? Or do they want to see some sort of content that helps them trust me, understand the services I offer, and actually want to book with me? When you look at inspiration for content ideas, you want to think, is this something that would get me viral or get me bookings? Because with an in-person service, your ideal audience is going to be very specific. It's going to be specific to a certain area of where you're located, and even more specific, people that want to get that service done, and even more specific, that want to get it done with you. Or you can persuade them to, encourage them to, educate them to want to. So for example, with nails, let's say in Melbourne, there's no point targeting anyone overseas. There's no point targeting anyone out of Victoria. There's even no point targeting someone more than like 30, 40 minutes away. Like, you will get some clients that will travel, but there's not even much point targeting more than 30 to 40 minutes away. So you've only really got like a 40-minute radius, right? And within that, you want to target people that get their nails done, okay? So you have whatever number that is in your head. Then you have to consider, how much are they willing to spend? How much do they value their nails? You want people that are actually going to be able to pay your prices and see the value in that. Then you also want to think about their availability. For me, I got rid of late nights and I'm reducing weekends. I'm not going to target people that work a 9 to 5 and need those hours. I'm going to want to target people that are maybe in uni, or maybe work from home, or have flexible schedules, or maybe have an RDO. You really need to get very specific on your target audience, your ideal client. That way you can create content that's designed for them. Not only does it help them discover you, helps them trust you, know exactly what you offer, and actually get to the finish line, which is booking an appointment with you. There's content that gets you followers and content that gets you sales. So I've written down a few questions for you guys to consider after listening to this episode. Who is your target audience? Who do you actually want to target? What do you actually want them to do after they've looked at your post? Do you want them to scroll? Do you want them to go to your booking link and actually book? Can they even book? Are they in the same country to book? Can they afford your prices? Can they make your available spots? And this last one, I cackled when I wrote this down. Are they even interested in the service that I offer? Or is it some 40-year-old man who has no interest in beauty, but sees a pretty girl doing whatever dance or whatever you're doing and is only going to message you in regards to getting feet pics or other explicit images? Something else that's not what you're offering, right? It's a bit harsh, but it's literally the truth. Who do you actually want to target? Because when you're even thinking about a post, you want to think, who is this post going to, and what do I want them to do after it's been posted and they've seen it? Now, this is one of the things that I do now when it comes to my content, but honestly, when I first started, I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know what to post. I didn't know how to actually get someone from looking at my posts to actually booking. But mostly, I've always been focused on actually getting bookings. So my content strategy now is to actually get bookings, or for education, it's to get sales, right? That's why for me, you don't really see me posting a lot of viral content. My content doesn't get a whole lot of views, doesn't get a whole lot of likes, and I don't really have that many followers, to be honest. But what I do have is consistent salon bookings, consistent sales. So my content goal now isn't to get views. It isn't to get followers. It's to get sales. It's to get conversions. Do you want content that gets you views and people know about you, but they don't actually buy from you? Or do you want to be less known, less visible, but the people that do know you actually buy from you? Let that sit for a minute. Now, this isn't just regarding beauty services in a salon. This can be about courses, coaching, literally any business, a product business, whether it's beauty, cafe, gym. You want to take this all into consideration. Your content needs to be specific for the person that you want to actually buy from you. You need to get clear on exactly who that is, the type of content that they're going to want to see, and what's going to take them from discovering you to actually booking with you. I feel like honestly one of the biggest mistakes that I see a lot of beauticians make is they're making content for fellow beauticians, but not for customers. Now, as much as I love watching nail tutorials, lash tutorials, something that's relatable to other people in the industry, if you're just selling a service, these videos probably go viral for other beauticians. They're not going to buy from you. They might follow you, but they're not going to buy from you. So if you're a nail tech, let's say, and you're posting how I get my chrome finish, how I perfect my manicure, how I get fully booked, that's not going to attract customers. That's going to attract potential nail techs, existing nail techs. So unless you're selling a course or an ebook or some sort of training, that's not going to bring you sales. That's just going to bring you followers and views. Maybe some industry connections, but that's about it. If you have a service-based business, you need to be posting for the potential client. So I have refined my content strategy so much over the years, but one thing I've done, especially more recently, is I've focused on positioning, premium positioning. I did this especially when I did my price increase, and I changed what I posted to position myself to be able to charge those new prices without losing many clients. And I don't even think I lost any clients when I increased my prices. I positioned myself and my business to offer high quality services. I want my business to be viewed as luxury. My target client isn't someone that's going to look at my prices and think, oh my gosh, she's a ripoff, she's expensive. I want the kind of client that's going to look at my prices and think, oh, that's so reasonable, that's so worth it. Like, that's so fine. This is why you also need to have a content strategy that not only supports you where you are now, but allows you to increase your prices, change the hours you want to work, and remain consistently booked even when you have major changes in your business. Now, I know there's going to be some people listening to this and are like, I don't know what to post. I want to get more bookings. I need to increase my prices, but I don't know how. I don't want to lose any clients. I feel you. I've literally been in the exact same position. Now, this is something I can absolutely help you with inside of a mentorship container together. If you didn't listen to the last episode or you haven't been following me on Instagram, I officially have a launch date for one-on-one private business mentorship with me, and it's literally one of the most exciting things I've ever worked on. I feel like content and strategy is literally my bread and butter. Like, it makes my day. I love working on content. I like planning out my content. It just lightens up my day. And if I can make it easier for you to find a strategy that not only you can commit to, but it's actually customized and personalized to you to take you from where you are right now to where you want to be, that would just make my day. So if you're thinking, I need help, I need guidance, I need accountability, mentorship is when we actually look at the goals that you have and break them into realistic, actionable steps that you can take every single day. Based on your goals, I create your own custom strategy as to how you're going to get there. Because trust me, I've been in your position. I didn't know what to post at first. I was struggling to get bookings. I was struggling to get booked out consistently. I was undercharging and I was too scared to raise my prices because I was like, oh my gosh, people are going to leave. And then I changed everything. I changed my systems in my business. I positioned myself to charge premium prices, quote unquote premium, because again, whole topic for another day on value, but to charge prices that are higher than some other people in my area. And I didn't lose any clients because I had a strategy, not only for the price increase, like that's just a whole strategy on its own, but also how I actually positioned myself to be valued as someone that can charge those prices, and how I got all my clients to stay without even rebooking them. That was a whole nother thing I mentioned in another episode. I don't rebook my clients. So all of them stayed when I increased my prices, which were already higher and now even higher than a lot of other people in my area, without me even rebooking them. If that isn't the proof that you need, I don't know what else to tell you, girl. Now you're probably thinking, I need this in my life. I want to get to exactly that point in my business. I just don't know how to get there. Now, mentorship isn't officially live yet. The launch date is August 11th, so make sure to mark that in your calendars. And it is application only because it is completely one-on-one with me. It's not a course that unlimited people can enroll in. It's not a copy and paste program where I just send you a list of strategies. This is completely personalized to you. And I can only take on so many people at a time because you guys know I'm running the podcast, I've got the salon, I've got the courses. So I only have a very limited number of spots available that I can give you the most value I possibly can in our time together. So more information will be available very soon on blossominbusiness.com, but I'm also dropping a lot of information leading up to the launch on August 11th over on my Instagram. And because I have only limited spots available, it is application only because I want to make sure it's going to the right people who are the perfect fit for mentorship. Because it's not for everyone, I'll be honest. It does require commitment, not only financially, but mentally. You need to be someone that's willing to put the work in to get the results that you want to achieve. And I mentioned it in another episode, but I was actually working with a business coach myself, more for the education side of my business. And I've actually re-signed another month because I enjoyed it so much, because I was doing things alone before. I was trying to figure it all out on my own. And I was struggling on how to get there. But once I started working with someone who knows exactly where I was and where I wanted to be, and we turned those goals into an actual strategy with steps that I was actually able to do every single day, words cannot describe the clarity that I have on exactly what I'm doing in my business going forward. And because the mentorship program that I'm releasing is completely one-on-one, this means the support is unmatched. Every single one of my private mentorship clients inside my program gets priority access to me, which means even when all my other apps are muted, if I'm working, I'm locked in. You send me a voice message, you send me a message with a question, I reply in as much detail as soon as I can. And this has been an absolute game changer for me with mentorship myself and being coached myself, is that so many questions come up along the way. And it's so helpful to have someone that actually understands where you're at and where you want to be and gives you customized guidance. Because I've done so many courses myself, not only in the services that I offer, but also business and also scaling an education business. But a lot of them are quite generic. They teach you the things, but they don't actually tell you how you in your business right now can actually get there. So I personally only did a month with my mentor at the start, and I was like, this ain't enough. I need even more. I learned so much from that 1 month. But I was like, if I've learned that much from a month, imagine how much more I could learn in another month together. Because making these big changes in your business is not something that you do overnight. It's not something that can be rushed. So with my mentorship launch, it is a 12-week program, which means we have 3 months basically together to work one-on-one to make as much changes and implement new strategies and systems as we can. So stay tuned for the Instagram because the applications officially open on the 11th of August. So make sure you have that all listed in your calendar. I do want to do another episode on my experience working with a business coach because I could go on and on about how valuable it's been for me personally, being someone that's been in the industry for 6 years, learning from not only a whole nother person, but experiencing running my business in a whole different way. Like I'd never experienced mentorship before this, like in an actual container. Like I've had like the advice, I've done the courses, but this was like next level. So I think we should do another episode on that. If you guys want to see that, let me know and I'll definitely make an episode on my experience with coaching myself. But I've told you guys before, I do not do things half-assed. So when I've been working on this mentorship program in the back end for the past few months, I wanted it to be the best it can be, and I wanted to set it up as perfect as I could from day one. So that way, launch day, we just hit the ground running. All the systems are set up, everything is just all organized, and I'm so excited for this next step. I'm so excited to help people beyond the podcast because as much as the podcast has so much value, I want to actually dive into your individual business with you. And that's exactly what mentorship is designed for. So stay tuned for the Instagram post. I'm giving you guys more detail on what's to come. If you're watching this after August 11th, applications are officially open. I'm not sure if all spaces will be booked yet. Depends on when you're listening to this. And I don't know if that special launch pricing will still be available. I mentioned it in the last episode, but I'm actually having a launch special. So when we launch, you can literally get mentorship at the lowest price it will ever be. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. I really want you to take away from this episode that numbers of followers, of views, don't always equal sales. You don't need to measure your success based on how many followers and views you have. Success should be based on your individual business, how much money you're making, how happy and content and fulfilling your business is, and creating a business that's actually sustainable. And I'd love to know what your biggest takeaway of this episode was. So if you're watching on YouTube, feel free to leave me a comment, share it on your story, let me know. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. We have some exciting guest speakers coming on very soon, so you can expect some guest speaker episodes very shortly. And hopefully the next time that I have my solo episodes, I have my proper microphone. So again, sorry if the audio hasn't been great, but I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Thank you for listening to this episode of Blossom in Business. If you enjoyed this episode, I would love if you could give the video a thumbs up on YouTube or rate the podcast 5 stars on Spotify and Apple. If you don't want to miss an episode, make sure to hit the notification bell so you get notified every single time a new episode drops. If you want to follow along on my journey, I've put the links to all of my socials in the description. If there's any topics you'd like covered on the podcast, or you'd like to apply to be a guest speaker, you can find the links in my description. Stay tuned for the next episode.